Well, the stage is set. The American and Iranian delegation teams have arrived in Islamabad for the make-or-break peace negotiations. Both sides have sent their top leaders. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance is leading the American delegation. That also includes Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. On the other hand, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and Parliamentary Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf are leading the Iranian delegation. Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif says his government will make every possible effort to make these talks successful and is hopeful that these negotiations will lead to lasting peace in West Asia. But suspense remains. It is still not clear if the US and Iranian teams will engage in direct talks. What we gather through sources and from the ground indicates that the talks will begin in an indirect format. US and Iranian delegations will hold separate bilateral meetings with the Prime Minister of Pakistan, who is acting as the primary mediator. After that, indirect negotiations will begin, with both sides exchanging their demands and positions through Pakistan's mediation channel rather than direct contact. Later, if constructive progress is made in Phase 1, talks will move on to direct face-to-face negotiation. Reports say the Serena Hotel, which is located next to Pakistan's Foreign Ministry in Islamabad's red zone, is expected to be the venue. All guests were reportedly asked to vacate the hotel on Wednesday. Now, the indirect format is similar to the last set of negotiations between Iran and the United States. The talks held just before the war, and last year's negotiations about Iran's nuclear program. The last direct talks between the US and Iran were held back in 2015. That is when the US, under then-President Barack Obama, finalized the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also known as the Iran nuclear deal. Back then, there had been direct negotiations between then US Secretary of State John Kerry and former Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif. Now, Trump tore apart that Iran deal in 2018, and there have not been direct talks between the two countries since then.